Asano 300 Club Finals between Keith Colosi and Mike Burns. Tell us about our competitors, Mike.
Keith Colosi, Omar, spent 10 years out on the Pro Bowlers Tour. He is now a policeman in Mad River Township, and he's a very tough competitor. He beat Jamie Crable in the semifinal match 255 to 246. So Mike Burns is bowls out of Arrow Lanes at Fairborn, and Mike's a good, strong bowler. He had his 300 this year in the city tournament at Royal Z Varsity Lanes.
You are looking at Keith Colosi, Community Lanes in Xenia, a policeman. Mike will tell you more about that. Watch his form. He moves it. He does move it. There you go, Keith Colosi. He is off and running, and Mike Burns will have all the competition in the world. Mike in the Arrow Lanes out at Fairborn, so we got Xenia and Fairborn in our finals.
Fairborn in the finals.
Right.
In fact, they beat one man from Dayton, John Jenkins, and Jamie Crable, who I mentioned earlier, was from Springfield.
Mike, as you can see, a much more deliberate bowler than Keith, leaving that 10-pin. He looked like a pretty good hit.
He didn't get that kick off the wall, and Mike's a Kroger employee out. He works at the Fairborn Kroger, and he and his wife Kay have 2 children, and they're up in the stands right now. Kim and Michael are both rooting for him.
There's a second ball for Mike Burns, trying to pick up the spare, and he does.
Picks up that 10-pin.
Now, these 2 gentlemen, quite frankly, are obviously, we point out, the men and the women's pins over average, the average bowlers. These gentlemen are not average. They are above average.
These are our best shooters in the city. And we've got a lot of good ones, Omar. As we mentioned, we have over 200 members of the 300 Club. It comes down to these 2 gentlemen. They got that time.
Yes.
And here comes Keith. Now, Keith, it's interesting, Omar. He last night was working and got his thumb caught on his bowling hand in the door of his cruiser. And he came over here this morning and bowled just to see if he could bowl. As you can see, he is doing well, but it was bothering him. He leaves that 2-pin.
We'll take a look at Keith's delivery in slow motion. It is a little out of the ordinary, you might say. He cocks that arm very high, and that slow step up there, but then he really unleashes the ball. No doubt about it. So we've got the spare and a strike, and a strike and a spare.
I think Keith probably puts as many revolutions on a ball as you possibly can. That ball is going round and round.
Looks like a screwball, doesn't it? Right. Breaks down away from the pins rather than the hitter. No handicaps involved in here at all. These whatsoever. These as they say, straight up. Best man will take home the $1,000 and the trophy. Incidentally, oh my, around that 10-pin.
Another fast 10.
I want to mention those trophies. My colleague here, Mr. Hennessy, had a great deal of good-looking trophies, Michael, by the way. And,
very nice, and we want to thank the folks at Casano Pizzas and Subs for providing those. And Gene Lawson, their Director of Operations, will be here to make the presentations at the conclusion of the bowling.
Keith got in the gutter. I think he slipped there on his approach.
One of the things you'll see with these bowlers here, it's not unusual to see them miss a single pins. They're out there bowling strikes. And in fact, in his earlier match today, Keith had 1 open frame and still came back and rolled a 256.
Mike Burns out of the Arrow Lane, Fairborn. Very deliberate, just
that puts Mike into the lead.
He has a very, very smooth approach. It is just it's like a Sammy Snead swing in golf and everything, I suppose, of a bowling instructor says, watch this man, this is what you should do. Yes.
But the young kids will watch somebody like a Keith Colosi and they'll go out and bend that ball.
That is so true. All right, Burns trying to come up with the strike again. Oh, he's got a nice groove now.
He's got that turkey going. Say Keith is going to have to start a string here himself, or he's going to find himself out of the game.
It
By the
doesn't.
way, his best pro finish, he did finish 6th, and didn't make the TV finals, but he finished 6th in the Kessler Open out in Dublin, California.
Well, he's
10
wrapping
pin
himself
again.
around
That's
that
the third
10
10
pin.
pin.
And he's mumbling to himself as he
I think
comes
he's-
back, and I imagine he has
Just
the
the
right
10
to.
pin talk. That's
Yeah,
what you read.
he's on a 10 pin.
He knows he couldn't afford to miss another one. That
A tremendous amount of spin on that ball of Keith Colosi. You can see it as it goes down. He really unleashes the ball hard. Neither one of these bowlers take very much time. They get up and bowl. They just move. Yeah, no doubt about that. When he moved that one into the pocket, the 1-3 pocket, it was there.
he's about 30 pins back right now, Omar. So Keith's going to have to keep stringing him, and it'd be interesting to see if Mike can add that 4th one here and put even more pressure on him.
He has 3 strikes in a row. Mike Burns. Oh, he got a little help for the.
Left that 7 pin a little bit too high.
I don't think there's a bowler going that will not tell you that luck intervenes quite often.
No
And
question.
when things are going great, the fact is he almost picked up the strike there with not a good hit, but that's the name of the game.
Now, Mike's 39 years old, Omar. He's been bowling since 1970. He said he started after he graduated from Wilbur Wright High School. And by comparison, Keith Colosi has been bowling since he was 5 years of age. And his dad, Barney, who's up in the crowd, is the manager of the community lanes over in Xenia. And I know he had Keith out there, and he could just about hold that ball. Mike has a 99 through the 4th frame. This gives him a 31 pin lead. That's straight.
Perfect hit.
It gives him a 119 through the 5th. Keith has a 68 in the 4th frame, working on a strike in the 5th. So Keith needs to come up with another strike here.
Needs a double here. Keith Colosi from Xenia, community lanes.
That's his wife, Dawn, sitting over there. Waiting for him. He's got that double.
He seems to have those, not that patented 5-step lead or approach. He's got this little stutter step in there. But when you can bowl him like Keith, you can run up there and
You
throw
can
him.
score like that,
I
you
was
can do
gonna say, that's so true.
There's Dawn sitting off to the right there. He's got the 3rd one.
Yes. Now he's getting right
He's back in gear. That leaves him 20 pins behind Mike Burns right now with a 21 pins, really, with a strike in the 8th. And they both have strikes in the 7th. So Mike knows the pressure's on them. And again, that 10 pin. Seems like we're just saying 10 pin all the time.
I was going to say, has the survey ever been taken? Is that the pin
Well,
the nemesis?
the right-handers claimed it the 10 pin, the left-handers claimed it's the 7 pin.
Right.
But those 2 corner pins are still the toughest pins to make.
This is the grand finale of TV2 Super Bowl, our 300 club, Cassano's 300 club. The final round between Keith Colosi and Mike Burns, and Mike picks up the spare.
It gives him a 139 in the 6th frame and a potential of 150. He's actually trailing Keith right now, or they're just about even, I should say. Keith has that triple. Mike needs another strike to stay in this match, because I have a feeling Keith is going to keep the pressure on.
Oh, he got an awfully big assist there. He got some big help.
Got the kick off that side board.
Yes.
And
just
It's
enough.
important.
This one seemingly could go down to the
Yeah, Keith
final
needs,
toss in the 10th frame.
Keith needs this one here. He's got it.
He got it. Our two previous winners in the men's division, Chip Bowling defeated Bob Border, and in the women's division, Lisa Cash defeated Sandra Osman.
Right now, if Keith can come up with a strike here, Omar, he will tie the match.
Look out.
Yes, he gets it.
Can't get any closer.
Now, he has a 159 in the 7th frame. So does Mike Burns. Mike has a strike in the 8th. But now Keith has a chance to strike out. That would put all the pressure on to, well, here's Mike Burns coming up now for his 9th and 10th frame. And he has the possibility of striking out and putting the pressure on Keith. And we also have the possibility of tie.
Perfect hit for Mike Burns. This might be called a little pressure bowling right there. It's remarkable how quiet a bowling lane
It does
can
get quiet, doesn't it?
It doesn't get quiet.
Mike needs this.
Oh, a big finish. He's staying with it, I'll tell you. He's got...
He has a potential, Omar, of a 249. And Keith would have to come up and strike out in the 10th frame for a 249. We could end up with a tie. In which case, they will have to bowl a 9th and 10th frame over again.
Well, I don't think we could have, you could have come up, or
I don't think we could have planned it any better than
this, but Keith Galozzi and Mike Burns. Super competition. Here's Mike again. He needed that. He got a great finish.
He's going to be in the 240s. He's got 219 now in the 9th frame with 2 strikes.
He needs this for to strike
249.
out. To strike out. So he's going to have himself a 247, 248, 249.
249. Yeah,
249. If he strikes out.
If he strikes out, it's 249.
But
which means he's got it.
He got it. 249. Great finish for Mike Burns. Just a great finish. Now
Keith has to strike out. Keith has to strike out.
He has to strike out, and Keith at the moment just took a gander at the
score sheet
to see what he has to do. So he's got the challenge right now. He's got to strike. Well,
and he doesn't. He doesn't. Mike Burns is our 300 club champion.
Great finish by Mike Burns. Mike simply faced the challenge and met it head on. He struck out and ended up with
we couldn't have asked for a better finals match. It came right down to the
match.
Finish.
That's the best that Keith can get now.
227 would be the best. If Keith can strike now, he can finish with a 227, which would leave him 22 pins behind Mike, our new 300 club champion.
He does.
Strike.
227 to 249, just a great challenge from Keith Galozzi, but it was Mike Burns who did the work at the end and struck out in that 10th frame to get a nice sizzling 249, and he is our champion. We will have the award ceremonies coming up in just a few moments as we honor all 3 of our winners, Chip Bowling, Lisa Cash, and Mike Burns. It has been TV2 Super Bowl, and we'll also have the presentation of the $3,000 to the 3 winners. We'll be right back with our official championship presentations. Casano's 300 Club. We've been going all along since September. Come on in here, Mike Burns. Great victory, 249. He beat Keith Galozzi in a great match. Congratulations, Mike. Trophy and a check, and just get your hands full over there, Mike. And Nice going. Good match against a good competitor.
Thanks a lot, Omar. And I just want to thank Casano's Pizza King and the bowling proprietors for backing the tournament, and Mike Hennessy for doing such a fine job at running it, and a special thanks to WTTN for covering the average bowlers in the Dayton area all throughout the year, and we all appreciate it.
Mike, thank you very much for the nice words. Thank you. So that's the story. TV2 Super Bowl, 3 great winners. Let's do it all over again come September 1989, starting this fall. Thanks for being with us. Have fun. Go bowling.